every eye. That may be beyond us, but so long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will not be over.
On August 15th, the appointed day, people gathered to welcome the dawn of a new age and witness the peaceful transfer of power. Lord Mountbatten became the first Governor-General of the Dominion by the will of the sovereign people of India. After hoisting the national flag, the first servant of the Indian people addressed from the ramparts of the Red Fort the 500,000 gathered below. On this day, our first thoughts go to the father of our nation, who held aloft the torch of freedom and lighted up the darkness that surrounded us. Paying tribute to the unknown soldiers of freedom, he urged the people to look to the future with faith and confidence. Concluding, he observed, "To the nations and peoples of the world, we send greetings. And to India, our much-loved motherland, the ancient, eternal, and ever new, we pay our reverent homage." As a result of Gandhi's healing presence in Calcutta, stirring scenes of Hindu-Muslim fraternization were witnessed. But for him, it was a day of prayer and deep heart-searching.
Mahatma Gandhi ki jai! Mahatma Gandhi ki jai! Mahatma Gandhi ki jai!
With the departure of British Army contingents from India's shores, ended the 190-year-old British domination over India. Gandhi praised the British withdrawal as the noblest act of the British nation. The time of rejoicing was brief. The rumblings of communal frenzy could be heard in the distance. A vast region was churning with hate. Minorities were tyrannized and persecuted. Millions of men, women, and children, uprooted from their settled homes and cut off from their old moorings, migrated on a dimension unprecedented in recorded history and trekked their way to safety. Migration was not a matter of personal choice for the migrants, but was forced on them by the hate of man. The refugees rolled on in a two-way stream across the border. The continuing tension agonized Gandhi. Before leaving Calcutta for Delhi, on being approached for a message, he wrote in Bengali, "My life is my message." In Delhi, Gandhi saw ruptured human relationships. He planted himself alone amidst the raging torrent and listened to the tales of woe of the embittered and the uprooted. On his 78th birthday, Gandhi invoked the aid of the all-embracing power to take him away from the vale of tears rather than make him a helpless witness to the butchery of men, and cried in a prayerful tone, "Not my will, but thine alone shall prevail." In October 1947, events took a grave turn. On the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir delaying its decision about accession to either the dominion of India or Pakistan, freebooters from the northwest and Punjab invaded the state with the connivance and material support of the Pakistan government to force accession by the sword. The raiders, well armed and well equipped, sacked and looted towns and villages, put many inhabitants to death, and spread a reign of terror. Under the guidance of the National Conference, the people of the valley defended their soil and their common heritage with courage and unity. The invader was almost at the doorstep of Srinagar. On October 26th, the state acceded to the Indian Union with the express consent of the people and sought military aid against the wanton aggression. Indian troops were flown in and stemmed the tide of invasion. Kashmir occupied Gandhi's thoughts. Though he did distinguish between an aggressor and a defender, sending troops to Kashmir was not his way. The case of the defenders, he felt, was so manifestly just that if the people had resisted the unprovoked invasion non-violently, it would have won the admiration of the world. At the moment of crisis, on Gandhi's initiative, the first session of the All India Congress Committee, after the attainment of freedom, declared its faith. India as a nation is bound together by indissoluble cultural and historical links. It is also a land of many religions and many races, and must remain so. Our aim has been to develop this great country as a democratic, secular state. Values were changing fast under the impact of events. For Gandhi, political independence had little value if it did not herald the era of the common man. He was uncompromisingly opposed to the mania of mass production by the sacrifice of human values. Gandhi denounced the craze for pomp and pageantry after independence and did not see any merit in hiding poverty. India, he maintained, possesses only her moral capital, which increases with the spending. Distressed at the rise of military expenditure in independent India, Gandhi painfully observed, India's destiny lies along the bloodless way of peace. The hope lingers in me that India might still lead the way towards world federation. To have a warless world, the economy of participating nations must be free from all exploitation. Communal harmony and the secular state were in great jeopardy. Sporadic violence in Delhi continued. In the face of the moral challenge, Gandhi was groping for light. Out of the depths of anguish came the decision to fast unto death, to purge the city of Delhi of the communal virus and lay his head on God's lap. On January 13th, 1948, he began the fast and passed from tumult into peace. He gave vent to his feeling. Death for me would be a glorious deliverance, rather than that I should be a helpless witness to the destruction of India. As the leaden hours crept by, and drop by drop, strength ebbed out of the frail body on the fasting bed, a deep heart-searching set in amongst all concerned. The fast terminated with the reunion of hearts of all communities, brought about by an awakened sense of duty on January 18th. Showering benediction on Prime Minister Nehru, who had been fasting in sympathy, Gandhi wrote, "Give up your fast. May you live long and continue to be the jewel of India." Though feeble, yet vibrant, Gandhi continued his after-prayer talk.
आखिर की एक बात कहकर मैं खत्म करूंगा.
The explosion was from a bomb thrown by a Hindu refugee to kill Gandhi. Gandhi remained unruffled.
ऐसे हम डर जाएंगे तो सचमुच यहाँ कोई हो जाए तो हमारा हाल कैसा होगा? सुनो 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 सब सुनो, कुछ नहीं हुआ है. चलिए शांत रहिए.
Relying on God, he refused to accept any kind of human protection. Discussing the question of the reconstitution of provinces on a linguistic basis, Gandhi observed, "Cultural autonomy had been our watchword, but such redistribution should not militate against the organic unity of India. Autonomy did not and should not mean disruption." Surveying the political scene in a tone of infinite sadness, he remarked, "I have to find peace in the midst of turmoil, light in the midst of darkness, hope in despair." Giving a moral orientation to the Indian National Congress, Gandhi suggested in a draft constitution that it should transform itself into a Lok Sevak Sangh, striving for the social, economic and moral independence of the country in terms of its 700,000 villages.